Studying astronomy is his hobby and predicting weather his passion. For the last 15 years, Ramachandran has been studying the weather charts of the past century and combining that past information and blending it with astronomy-based formulas to predict our weather patterns.
Ramachandran is a building contractor, but to his friends and relatives, he's the weatherman. When he began reading about astronomy, he got hooked and ended up conducting research into the planetary movements. That eventually led him to predict the weather, not just for Tamil Nadu, but for the rest of the world as well.
I read a line, Banu Madhyamam, in a book called Bhagat Samhita. It means sun in between Mercury and Venus with respect to Earth. That means he has forecast no rain in that type of a position. It has created curiosity in me. I went in detail and got myself here.
With great difficulty, this weather pundit has now managed to collect cyclone patterns, weather and rainfall readings from 1893 to date. Based on his knowledge of Indian astronomy, he has now identified more than 45 formulas for predicting the weather and says that these formulas seldom let him down.
Like Indian Ayurveda, Indian astronomy got a lot of treasures. I believed in that. I want to take it to the masses as well as to the rulers. Both can get benefited if they really understand this.
His reports have been published in many newspapers over the years, and he also has follow-up articles proving that his weather forecasts have been correct.
Ramachandran has been forecasting weather for the past 15 years. He only hopes that the government incorporates his methods with the current weather predicting systems to benefit the masses. In Chennai with camera person Saravanan, Gayatri Sarangarajan for NDTV Hindu.
We'll be back with you after a very short break with plenty.
Studying astronomy is his hobby and predicting the weather is his passion. For the past 15 years, Ramachandran has been studying the weather charts of the past century and combining that past information blends it with astronomy-based formulas to predict our weather patterns.
Ramachandran is a building contractor, but to his friends and relatives, he's the weatherman. When he began reading about astronomy, he got hooked and ended up conducting research into the planetary movements. That eventually led him to predict the weather, not just for Tamil Nadu, but for the rest of the world as well.
I read a line, Banu Madhyamam, in a book called Bhagat Samhita. It means sun in between Mercury and Venus with respect to Earth. That means he has forecast no rain in that type of a position. It has created curiosity in me. I went in detail and got myself here.
With great difficulty, this weather pundit has now managed to collect cyclone patterns, weather and rainfall readings from 1893 to date. Based on his knowledge of Indian astronomy, he has now identified more than 45 formulas for predicting the weather and says that these formulas seldom let him down.
Like Indian Ayurveda, Indian astronomy got a lot of treasures. I believed in that. I want to take it to the masses as well as to the rulers. Both can get benefited if they really understand this.
His reports have been published in many newspapers over the years, and he also has follow-up articles proving that his weather forecasts have been correct.
Ramachandran has been forecasting weather for the past 15 years. He only hopes that the government incorporates his methods with the current weather predicting systems to benefit the masses. In Chennai with camera person Saravanan, Gayatri Sarangarajan for NDTV Hindu.
Right, to tell us more on that, we are now being joined by Mr. S. Ramachandran, Chennai's very own weather pundit. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So how did it all start? How did you develop an interest in predicting weather?
I read the Bhagat Samhita, wherein there is a sentence called Banu Madhyamam. According to that, when sun is between Mercury and Venus with respect to Earth, it cannot rain. It has created curiosity in me and went into details and did a lot of study in already happened weather and formulated certain things which proved good for me.
Alright, so could you explain your formulas and your methods, sir?
Formulas are simple actually. From Banu Madhyamam, I got other formulas. Say, according to Indian astronomy, Jupiter is considered the second sun. That is, it can perform like sun when sun is not in a position to deliver rain or other things. Likewise, I went on to get other particulars of the other planets which have a significant role in weather patterns on the globe. And right from 2002, my forecasts have almost reached more than 85% accuracy. I did forecast the failure of monsoon in 2002. It was not taken. and I was struggling to take this year's monsoon failure forecast right from last year itself. So far it has not been
This year as in 2009.
9.
Okay.
It has not been satisfactory so far, and it is going to be worse after second week of July. So unless the message is taken properly to the people, the fag end of the farm community may not be able to get the benefit of the forecast, because they are going to depend on the IMD forecast or the normal perception that rain is going to be heavy during July and August. When it is not going to be the case, they are going to waste their resources of seeds and maybe borrowing money to plow the field and keep it ready for the season.
So, sir, are your forecast specific only to the farmers community?
No. It can benefit the government also, because long-term planning is very important for a government to plan economic other activities. When a failure like this, it definitely is going to hurt the government at the end of the season. Instead, they can very well plan it ahead. In fact, my method gives them leverage. I can give you a forecast years ahead, at least long-term forecast. Specific forecast, IMD and NASA have done a lot of things. But combining my method, they can be more accurate. It can be useful for the entire world.
All right. I see that you've got some very interesting charts. Could you explain what it is all about?
This is the planetary dance around Earth. It is geocentric.
Could you please lift it so that our viewers can have a better look at it?
It's a geocentric planetary dance.
Okay.
Based on the data which I download from the websites.
Okay.
And I have drawn it for the entire year. See, it starts in the month of April and ends with 2010 April.
2010.
10 April.
Okay.
And I have prepared my charts up to 2012. I can give you what is going to be the weather for 2010, 11, 12 and all. But since people already have not taken it for 2009 itself, but you have given me an opportunity to take it to a different level. I hope it will reach the ultimate end where I wanted to reach.
Right. So you also have a collection of the previous past 100
I
years
was
records.
helped. Initially, when I was lucky to interact with the senior director with the Madras Cyclone Center, he helped me to get the cyclone data from 1893 up to 1996. After that, I started my collecting. And a lot of websites have given me hurricane and typhoon forecasts or events that has happened the previous years. And it has helped me to perfect my formulas. I can honestly say, if my formulas are followed, more than 75% of the hurricanes, typhoons, tropical cyclones can be forecast well ahead. Even cloud burst, a small even cloud burst on a particular day, it can be done.
Okay, so it's not specified to any particular area.
No,
it's
the
for all
entire
over the
globe
world.
is controlled. See, the entire Earth is controlled by planetary system. I am not talking about astrology, it's astronomy. Our people have done enough research work. Only thing, it is in a different format. I am not well versed with Sanskrit, I am not well versed with astronomy. There are more knowledgeable people in this field. Only thing, I have done few big works. It's up to them to build a castle or anything like that.
So could you tell us a little more on the Indian astronomy that you have read and which has been very useful for your weather predictions?
No, Indian astronomy is, see, they consider only these nine celestial bodies. They even treat the sun as a planet.
Right.
It's not a planet, it's a star. And there is a Rahu Ketu, which is called, the modern science is calling them as lunar modes. The lunar, that is moon, cuts the path of earth around sun at two different places every month. This ascending node and descending node has a significant role in weather formation. Like that, Jupiter has a significant role, and Mercury and Venus has a very, very great effect on the rain formation. And in terms of cloud burst, you have to include the activities of Mars. So a lot of things, there is a formula, as I told you, there are more than 49 formulas, out of which only the basic formula of 35, 40 are available in the scriptures. After that, I have found these events, these portions yield better rain and cloud burst, all those things.
Right, so you're actually saying that these Indian methodologies combined with scientific measures could actually benefit many?
It can definitely. The world can benefit a lot. See, in Malwa, the last 3 years the rain is failure. But according to IMDA, 2005, 2006, 2007, rainfall is normal. But a particular region, the people are now fighting for water. In fact, the NDTV has reported about the water scarcity in Madhya Pradesh. So instead of fighting for water, when you know well years ahead, you can very well make arrangements to bring in water, at least for drinking purposes, leave on irrigation.
Are your predictions area specific or is it a broad-based?
It is broad-based and it can be area specific.
So could you give us an example, please?
See, last year there was a big flood in Tamil Nadu. I did forecast months ahead, and I was given an opportunity by another channel. I did voice my thing. There is going to be a big flood. It should be taken care. Nothing was done. People suffered. And after the floods, I was again called to be in the studio, and I was congratulated. I told them, congratulations not required. I am more worried about the next year. 2009 is going to be a monsoon failure year.
So we are not going to have much of rains this year?
Definitely. In fact, when you are asking about area specific, in my forecast I have given you below 14 degrees latitude. It is going to be deficient and scanty. And at the end of the year you can see, and you may be also calling me back.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Thank you very much, and I hope that it doesn't rain today because I have a lot of shoot lined up for the day. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine.
Coming up, we'll visit a truly rare bookshop.